She was 33 when she had me, glad to be facing the challenge, I suppose, thinking when she grows old she can be proud of me. But that's not how it came to be. Strange to see how reality's clouds can be thicker than brick walls. But now I see, she raised me alone, but home wasn't broken through unspoken doubt. She found how to keep us out of the token single parent lifestyle, condemned as blasphemy, far from catastrophe. To latchkeys, responsibility was hatched in me. It had to be. If two's a family, I was glad to be half of it. Too many long for love living with never having it. So I was lucky from the get-go. And yet though she had taught me a lot, still I wasn't ready to let go. In retrospect, though I can see shades of distress, I knew she fought through depression and let smoke dissolve the stress. But the affliction of addiction was a figment. She fiended for nicotine till the tumor was malignant. Metastasis, the consequence can be disastrous. From the first step, it knows what your last is. With limited time left, living with bated breath, she fought for life as metastasis led her to death. Metastasis, the consequence can be disastrous. From the first step, it knows what your last is. With limited time left, living with bated breath, she fought for life. Metastasis led her to death. It was August when the diagnosis of cancer was made. The prognosis stated that it would be over before October. That was 4 to 6 weeks away and they didn't plan to fight it off. Told her to live the last of life, told us to write it off. 3 years of battles followed that hollowed her. It tried to swallow her whole, but she fought it with all of her soul. Determination was carried in radiation and chemotherapy, hoping that there would be a way out of it. Doubted the possibility of success of the mission. When she made it back to work, was she cured or in remission? We never knew if tomorrow would find borrowed time or more to struggle through, trying never to borrow trouble through months of improvement. When she made it to 59, she hadn't beaten the odds yet, but she was showing the signs. Within the year I started seeing a change, erratic behavior, metastasis attacking the brain. And even though she had a lot to give, cognitive limitations made it seem like an imitation of living. She was losing time due to the tumor, she was losing her mind. It was the start of the final decline. Metastasis, the consequence can be disastrous. From the first step, it knows what your last is. With limited time left, living with bated breath, she fought for life as metastasis led her to death. Metastasis, the consequence can be disastrous. From the first step, it knows what your last is. With limited time left, living with bated breath, she fought for life. Metastasis led her to death. I was 26, she was 60, there was only part of her left. Still, when she departed, it was hard to accept. February was when the brain tumor went under the knife. She fought till September, but never made it back. I hated that the last part of her life was such a fight. It scared me. Now family time happened after physical therapy. She was wasting away by the day when the argument started. She wanted me to take her back to her apartment, but clearly it wasn't safe for her to be alone. Had to find a nursing home, it drove me crazy, cause she had raised me. Hard to believe we had to switch places, but she was down and out, I had to cover all of the bases. 6 weeks before she died, I married the woman that helped me carry the weight. That must be when she knew it was safe. 3 years living like tomorrow would bring the worst, and still watching her slip away. Was it tragic or was it merciful? I hate to have to ask the question, but she taught me how to live, and this had to be part of the lesson. Must be a mixed blessing. I think the answer is I'm glad she doesn't have to struggle through living with cancer. Metastasis, the consequence can be disastrous. From the first step, it knows what your last is. With limited time left, living with bated breath, she fought for life as metastasis led her to death. Metastasis, the consequence can be disastrous. From the first step, it knows what your last is. With limited time left, living with bated breath, she fought for life. Metastasis led her to death.